Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
I'm Zach.
Welcome back, Zach.
Thank you.
Let the music play a little bit.
Oh, okay.
To vibe out.
All right, what are we doing today, Dana?
We are doing Firstborn.
Also known as Moving In Europe. They call it Moving
really?
In Europe. Yeah.
Oh.
Rated PG-13, another PG-13 movie, because this was released October 26, 1984. Running time of an hour and 43 minutes. Directed by Michael Apted. He died in 2021, age 79, unknown. That's usually what we should put there. Gorillas in the Mist, he directed that. He did 3 episodes of Rome, that show on HBO. And he did Amazing Grace and Enigma. Those are not
So it's the
movies
first time I've ever viewed his work, I think.
Yeah.
This is probably the best of it.
Spoiler alert, I've never seen this movie before.
No,
so
me either. This is the first time I had never even heard of this movie before.
I think I saw this movie before.
Do you?
Yeah.
Tara remembered it.
Yep.
She remembered a lot of stuff.
The IMDb description: a teenager must protect his family when his mother's sinister new boyfriend begins exerting his authority in their home. 16-year-old Jake Livingston has always been the man of the Livingston home since his parents divorced. That is, until his mother started seeing Sam, an alcoholic and drug addict. Sam introduces Jake's mother into a self-destructive lifestyle.
Yes, he does.
I got a few taglines here. 15, at a time when most kids need to dream, Jake Livingston had to wake up.
Fucking relax with that.
Wow. And then we got, there's a new man in his mother's life. A difficult, dangerous, violent man. Now Jake's got to stand up for himself and his family. And then Jake Livingston had to grow up fast because his mother didn't.
What was
my
the
God.
event that set them off? Because like Jake got the bike, and it seemed like the next scene they were already like, this guy's got to go. I'm like, what did he do?
It was opposite too, because at first Jake thought he wasn't an asshole. Brian thought he was an asshole.
Because he was
They were
buying
bribing
buying their affection or whatever, and then
Brian didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So that's why he was an asshole.
I think him moving in kind of did it too, but also I think Jake, was that the older brother?
Jake is the older
Jake
brother.
started realizing like, okay, you work in security, okay,
Yeah,
like
his
when he's
bullshit
talking about that,
detector.
his
and then
bullshit
he said,
detector.
yeah, I always want to open up a restaurant.
Yeah,
That's what
he's
I'm
like,
going
what
to do.
about your security?
Yeah.
He wasn't, I wouldn't say, I mean, that description said he was sinister. I wouldn't have said he was sinister. I think
Yeah, I didn't think he was. He
reach.
was the stepfather, like
No.
John Locke. As
No.
the stepfather.
He was like every other stepfather in the 80s. They
Yeah.
were like selling little drugs on the side.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
hear
First of all,
so many
can we talk about how
Like they were
fake
gonna
those
make-
drugs look?
Oh, yeah.
But that's all he was doing, though. He didn't have a legitimate source of income.
No.
The drugs looked so fake in those bags. It was like, oh my
Well, they've
God.
been outside for all night.
No, before that, even when he just looked at him, I was just like, come on. It's like
Yeah.
it was flowers.
powdered
Like you could see
sugar.
the powder at the top of the bag. It was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no one made that correctly.
all right, to get to the cast here. Terry Garr, she's playing Wendy. This is not our first Terry Garr movie.
Nope. I was on that one.
You were right. You were, and that was Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
Logan said, because Logan watched this with us last night, he's like, Terry Garr is just a terrible mother, isn't she? I was like, yeah, she's
really
like a
is.
bad mom in every movie. And I think
Yeah.
when I think of Terry Garr, I'm like, oh my God, she's the ultimate 80s mom, but she's the ultimate bad
Yeah.
80s mom.
She
was
looks
awesome.
gorgeous. I don't think I ever realized how pretty she was
Listen,
before this.
She was from frumpy in the beginning of this too.
Yeah.
Like then they showed her arms are like really skinny and she
Yeah.
was like coked out.
Cocaine is awesome, man. Like, moms look so much better on cocaine. I swear to God. Was she smoking at the beginning of this movie? Because she was smoking by the
Yeah, I
end.
don't think she was.
Like, just that scene where she's like sitting
Even
there
if she was, she
smoking.
was like, she would have been hiding it from the
Yeah.
kids. And here she's at the dining room table just smoking away.
She's drinking while she's gardening.
Yeah. In a hole. She was planting flowers in a giant hole in the ground, too. I didn't understand that. Like, what is she
looked like-
doing?
Seemed right.
It looked like spring hadn't even come yet to New Jersey because every tree
That's
was
how
like
messed
kinda-
up she was.
Yeah.
And they did. This was filmed in New York and New Jersey.
Well, they say
I
like
was wondering
Norristown
about that.
or something like that. At
And
one
if you
point.
look at the cars, did you see the blue license
I
plates?
did.
Okay, yeah,
They were the
yeah.
old
Yeah.
blue license plates. Yeah.
they mentioned Jersey towns in this at some point. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I guess it's in Jersey. But
Yeah.
like when she's planting those flowers, I'm like, it looks like it's maybe March out. You
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that.
Since we've done Terry Garr movie before, I'll mention Tootsie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind,
Another bad mom.
Young Frankenstein, and Mr. Mom.
Bad mom. Going
Close
back to
Encounters.
work.
But
Going
I
back
know.
to work.
Man, Close
I know.
Encounters. I haven't seen that in a while.
I've never seen it.
No?
Never seen Close Encounters.
Sorry.
If
It's
you want
on
me to watch
video.
Roadhouse, I want you to watch Close Encounters.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
They definitely have that on video cassette.
That's definitely one you could get, yeah. Playing Sam, our first Peter Weller movie. We'll have a couple more soon. Robocop's
Robocop.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Tara pointed it out.
Oh, you didn't
I was
know he was
like,
Robocop?
I saw Robocop like when it came
Tara
out.
seems to know a lot of these 80s movies.
She also said to me, "Oh, I thought Silver Bullet was Corey Haim's first movie." I was like, "What the hell's Silver Bullet?" And I looked and I was like, "Oh, I was really surprised by that."
Stephen King's Silver
Yeah,
Bullet?
I never. I don't think I ever saw
Was
that.
that a TV movie? Wasn't that a TV movie? I don't know if that was.
Been. It
Yeah.
was one of those
I wonder if that was a
terrible-
TV movie or if it was in the theater, but I remember it.
Stephen King started so strong, Shining and Carrie and Firestarter, and then like the 80s there with like, oh my God, there's a million like
Yeah.
Sleepwalkers and Lawnmower Man.
Cat
Oh,
People?
Cat
People, yeah.
Is that Stephen King as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Peter Weller, both Robocops 1 and 2 made it into his top 4. This movie did not make it into his top 4.
He wasn't bad in this.
No, I thought he was good in this.
There was
yeah.
no bad acting in this. I
Yeah,
didn't think
they
there
were
was-
all good.
They were
the
talented.
acting was not the
Corey
problem
Haim
with
was
the
really
movie.
good. I was, for his
His
first
first
acting
movie,
role,
yeah.
he was really good.
Adventures of Buckaroo
Oh,
Banzai.
I always forget. We got to do that movie
And that's
like
this
next
year,
week
yeah.
because that's come up multiple
Is that
times
this year?
now.
It is this year, yes.
Oh, good.
I had
Yeah,
to see that
I've never
movie, so
seen
it's
it, but
fresh.
everyone's talked about it.
Yep. And Naked Lunch is his other
Oh.
top 4.
Yeah. The William S. Burroughs.
I know I've heard that's the book, right? There's a book, and then
That's a good movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Criterion movies.
Is it one of those? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
I do naked lunch at work sometimes, but I usually close my door.
Up next, Christopher Collette playing Jake or Jacob, however you want to call him. This is not our first Chrissy Collette movie. We saw him.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Did he ever do anything?
He didn't do a
this?
lot. He did not do a lot
Was
of movies.
did I see in his a lot of voiceovers, right? A lot
believe it was a lot of, like,
animation,
yeah,
Voice actor now.
a lot. Like he is a
Okay. Because
long
when
list.
I saw him, I knew he was from Sleepaway Camp. I assumed
I did not
Zach.
recognize him. That's so funny.
I really thought Zach had been on our Sleepaway Camp episode
Yeah.
because I was like, does he have a thing for this guy? Because why are we doing this one?
Yeah,
and then
it
I
was
looked
just
and
a
he was
fort.
in the Manhattan Project next. I'm like, I guess I know what Zach's going to request next. Let's do the Manhattan Project. But I don't know what else he was in.
He's got 46 credits, but like he's been in like Pokemon.
yeah.
He's actually in 644 episodes of Pokemon.
Oh,
Wow.
so
he's
is
doing
he
pretty
like
good at
Ash's
that,
voice
yeah.
or something like that?
He does.
I mean, I don't know anything about Pokemon.
I just know
Maybe some
Pikachu.
character.
Steven Stone, Shrine Guardian, and Man in Crowd 2 as Andrew Paul.
Wow.
I thought he was. I thought he had like a look. I thought he should have been like a bigger
was
80s
definitely
movie.
cute.
He
I
definitely
think
had a look.
Or
He could
star.
have been an '80s heartthrob for sure.
He should be in the list when we're talking about like Rob Lowe tried out for this.
He did
Yeah.
an
Tom
episode of
Cruise
The
tried out for
Cosby
this.
Show.
yeah.
And I, okay.
He had like an Andrew McCarthy vibe.
Yeah,
I feel like.
yeah, for
He
Yeah.
did do one episode of ABC After School Special. This
know.
movie was very
I
much
saw it
like
last night.
ABC
Yeah.
After School
Oh.
Special.
I felt this was a Lifetime movie for sure.
Totally.
Except
Yeah.
there would have been more action that I would have expected in a Lifetime movie.
I think if it was a Lifetime movie, there would have been more female abuse in this.
That's what I meant. Like
Yeah. 'Cause
there was
I was
very
really
little of that.
expecting. Like he wasn't that bad.
Jake took most of
I-
the abuse.
I don't know. I thought there was a lot.
I think the kids. I
I
think
guess
the
we all live
kids.
different lives.
I really.
I'm like,
think
it's
the
not
kids
that bad.
I was shocked when he slapped. I was like, I didn't know
I
it was
was-
going to be this kind of movie.
I
Listen,
was
you
shocked
stole
when-
his fucking drugs, man. You're gonna get the shit beat out.
No. When Jake's in his room and he hears his mom getting beat, I'm like,
I would have gotten up then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked by
I
that.
didn't like.
Jake was
I
not
didn't like.
brave.
But Jake
No.
was an asshole to his mom too, because he said, you know, she's like, "Oh, I'm your mom." He said, "Well, start acting like that." I was like, if I said that to my mom, dude, I would not have been able. Both eyes, I would have been not. I would have been able to see. I'd have been like, "Yeah, what happened?" I said something to my mom I shouldn't have. They're
I'm
like,
telling you.
and they would understand.
Yeah.
The evil villain of the 1980s was the stepdad. There are so many
Yes.
evil stepdad.
And then the
movies, so-
stepmom too, though. If you think about it, because there was always those kids complaining about their stepmom.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
Well,
it's usually
the step-parent. Yeah, but
yeah, it's usually more of like
we got
a
My Stepmother was an
princess
Alien,
movie.
right? Isn't that an '80s movie? My Stepmother's an
It
Alien.
is.
I was always
Yeah.
jealous of the kids that had step parents because I was like, "Fuck, man!" I'm
Double
like,
gifts.
I just have my parents, and like, what can I complain about? Like,
Yeah,
I want
the
to
grass
complain
is always
too.
He tried to complain,
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, I have to go over my dad. So he's like, like, oh,
Oh,
my
for
dad's
another
home.
Christmas?
Yeah.
You're getting more
And when you seem
presents?
mysterious, like you've got like a dark past or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I did have 2 Nintendos in like 1989. So
I had those friends
I got
too,
them
like,
both.
they had
Every
the-
house I went to had a Nintendo.
They had the
nice.
Atari at the one house and the ColecoVision at the other house. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, god damn. I'm like, I just have one
My
of those
dad
things.
wanting to play all those games made it so much easier. So I asked for like, can I get a Nintendo? I'm like, yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
my
my
dad
dad
wanted
played it
it,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like-
they were playing it before they wrapped it up
Oh,
and
my
gave it to
dad
me for
played it.
Christmas.
My dad did that with ColecoVision.
Yeah.
Speaking
He did
of
that with the
games,
ColecoVision.
Pinball.
what was Corey Haim playing with at the very beginning?
I got the name of that.
What was
pinball
what was he
game.
playing at the? Oh,
I think it was Gold Ball.
Yeah.
But what was he playing at the very beginning? He had a red
Gold Ball
handheld.
It was like one of those old Tiger games or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what
I
is
couldn't make
that
out which
game?
one it was. Though. It
No.
could have been like a
I didn't
football
recognize
one
it.
or something like that. You know,
Where'd you get those batteries?
Yeah.
from his Walkman. Where did I leave off at? Christopher Collette, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up next was Brian, played by Corey Haim, who died in 2010,
Yeah.
age 38.
Oh, wow, he was that young, huh?
Yeah.
Corey fell in his basement, right, or something like
The
that.
pneumonia is what got him. The
No.
pneumonia.
He was living in like a hotel at that point.
That's what the cause of death. Obviously, it was the drugs and shit
Yeah.
that caused him to get the pneumonia.
38-year-olds don't die of pneumonia unless there's a
He had a
pre-existing
rough life.
condition.
He did, yeah.
Charlie Sheen needs to.
Charlie Sheen supposedly
Oh
raped
wait,
him.
what? Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
a real story?
Yes.
Is that Corey Haim?
So
On a set of
Corey
Lucas.
Feldman
Yeah.
said that Corey Haim told him that Charlie Sheen would take him like behind the trailers, like their makeup, whatever they're on, and just go
what
to town.
the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
How do I not know that story?
You never
I've never
heard
heard
that?
that
Find out
story.
from the bonfire.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Why isn't Corey or
Because Charlie
Because it
Sheen,
came
nobody
out,
listens to
it
Corey
came out,
Feldman.
and it came out after he died.
Yeah, and nobody will listen to Corey
No.
Feldman.
But I mean, I would have to imagine
The
if he
thing
did it
is,
to Corey
like,
Haim, he did
yeah,
to other
no one
kids
will.
too.
Yeah, no one will. Well, yeah, he did to. Well, he was dating Soleil Moonfry
Punky.
when she was
Yeah,
very
Charlie
young.
Sheen,
he was
yeah.
a lot older than her,
But it was okay when Elvis did
but
that.
she wouldn't.
She said he did
wouldn't say
nothing to
anything.
her.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything
Yeah.
bad to her.
Yeah, because
she
he
had
had
nothing
little
bad to
boys
say
on the
about
side,
him. Yeah,
and
Yep.
she probably didn't know that he had little boys on the side.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very well known fact. If you want to Google that later, that's give you some.
I mean, a fact that Corey Feldman is saying this and nobody
Corey
believes
Feldman
him,
has
but
a movie
I do. I
that
kind
he's
of
trying
do.
to get played, like
Yeah.
a documentary movie about all this shit, and they won't.
There's something about Corey Feldman. Yes, he's insane. He's weird. Everything, but kind of like
He's
I kinda
like that
believe
for a
him.
reason. I
Yeah.
do believe
That's
him.
what,
Yeah.
Yeah.
growing up like that, it's going to take a toll on you probably.
yeah.
And now dressing like Michael
Oh
Jackson.
my God, he loves Michael
and,
Jackson.
Like, the dancing like Michael Jackson.
Well,
Yeah.
they grew up dancing together.
Yeah.
And let's,
That's
let's not forget that Corey Feldman was the third person to kill Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
really?
Corey Feldman. I love Corey Haim.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we do License to Drive. I love
That's
that
a great
movie.
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Is that Heather Graham?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very young Heather Graham?
I can't wait till we do Lost Boys.
Oh, now that is a great movie.
Yes, that's Tara's favorite. I'll have to have her come on for that.
Oh,
She
yeah,
watches it
definitely.
at least once a year.
That's 87, right?
I think it's
I think so,
87,
yeah.
yeah.
She loves that.
One of us is not going to live that long, but
It's all right.
get there.
Tara will fill in.
is
Who will it
is Tara
be?
my replacement?
Could be me. I don't know. Shit.
I just like the fact you're wearing a winter
Do you want to
jacket
try
down there.
Corey Haim's top four?
I'm cold.
Corey
License to
Haim's
Drive.
top four?
Lost Boys?
Yeah, Lost Boys.
That did make it, yes.
License to Drive? Did you
yes,
say that was on there?
that is in there.
Dream a Little Dream? Was he in that?
He was in that, but that did not make it. Corey Feldman was also in that
Yeah, yeah.
one. A movie I mentioned earlier is in his top four, where Charlie Sheen raped him.
Oh, Lucas?
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
Did
I
we
never
get them
saw
all?
that.
Is there one
And
more?
Crank High Voltage. I don't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
When
what
did
killed him.
Lucas come out?
That's an 80s movie.
Early 80s?
I want to say...
Was it before? No, couldn't have been
No,
before
before
It
this.
could be 85.
Because this was introducing Corey
Yeah,
Haim, this
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
So
Could be
I'm
85.
assuming it was his first movie.
Let's see when Lucas was.
He did a good job in this movie.
He really
He was
did.
the star of this movie.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
got thrown against the wall at the end,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm like,
1986.
he took
Okay.
a fall really
It's
well
also
there.
Cary Green, too. We get Cary Green's in that movie from Goonies.
Oh, right, yeah.
Andy.
Yeah.
Who's that?
She plays Andy.
Andy, you Goonie. I love that
We'll
movie.
get that movie, too. You get to finally
I
watch
get
all
to
that.
finally watch
Wait.
it.
What?
Never seen
I
Goonies.
definitely said I've never seen Goonies.
That's wild.
He's seen it, but not all
Maybe
at once,
I
right?
forget on purpose because I'm like, that's just
Listen, I've seen a
stupid.
lot of shit. I can have a blind spot for certain things.
I don't know.
I never
if
saw
you'll-
Footloose before we saw that.
That's okay. That makes sense. I guess you were older when
When
Goonies came out.
86?
85.
85.
So I was
Yeah.
15. I don't know. That seems like it's
Josh
it's right
Brolin's
in
there, so he could have been in
Yeah.
there. Yeah, you could have definitely been a Goonie.
Joe Pantoliano.
Yes.
I mean,
What was the mom's name?
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's a different movie.
The mom. She was also in Throw Mama from the Train,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah,
What's
that's,
her name?
They call her Mama, and then let's see, Mama from the Tree. I can't remember what her name is. She's they're the Fratellis.
Yes, the
Her
Fratellis.
last name is Mama Fratelli. I think they
Yeah.
called her, right?
No, I didn't know her real name.
And then that one guy, he's a singer. I can't remember
Yeah.
what his name is. He's a really good singer too, and he pulls.
Joey Pants' brother
yeah,
in that
Yeah.
movie?
yeah. He was
that's
the
just
one
one
that
of
break
those
him out of jail
movies.
in
Yeah.
the beginning.
And that's when Chunk goes up. He's like, "Oh, solo mio."
And then one time in fifth grade,
And that's when he's like, "And I threw up." I went, "That's gonna be a fun long one. Who are we gonna have on for that
Oh my
one?"
god, I don't know.
that's a good one.
We'll have to do the old 6 mic thing again.
Yeah.
That is so much. I love that movie. Sarah Jessica Parker playing Lisa.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I was asking as I saw the back
She was
of
just
her
in
head.
last week's movie, or not last week's movie. A couple
She was
weeks
in
back.
Footloose.
Right? Yeah,
Oh yeah, right.
she wasn't in Blood Simple.
When I didn't see her from head on, I saw her from like the back of her head. I was like, "Is that?" I was like rattling off names, and Michelle's like, "It's Sarah Jessica Parker." I'm like, "But she's like kind of cute here because
She was really cute.
she looks like
yeah.
a
She looked
foot
cute.
now."
I thought she looked good in Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That's coming up next year, I believe.
Yeah, but like she
But I
ugly
think
got
in the
fast,
early in
man.
the '80s,
Jesus.
she got something hit her in the late '80s probably, and that's
a
just
fucking truck or something like that.
Oh my god, I think she's pretty.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Like Sex in the City, Sarah Jessica
Oh
Parker
yeah,
is
she's
not
pre-
attractive.
Oh, I think she's
even a
so
little bit.
pretty.
No.
So pretty.
She's
No.
buying Lee jeans in this movie.
I had that in my notes, dude. Are you kidding?
$26. They were so overpriced. $26 in the
$26
80s.
in the 80s for jeans?
Yes, for Lee jeans.
God damn, my
Lee's.
Walmart jeans don't even
SJP
cost that
trying
now.
on Lee jeans.
Yeah.
That was my,
While
I
It's
was
My
really
Life
shocked at the
plays.
price.
Did you catch that?
What's that?
It's My Life was playing in the background during that
Yes.
scene.
Oh.
Yes, I
Jovi,
did
It's
hear
My
that.
Life?
Talk.
No, talk.
Oh.
Yes,
It's that one.
Jovi.
It's like it's my life.
Don't
dude.
you
Oh, okay.
forget. Yeah.
This had a weird soundtrack. That is for
A
sure.
good soundtrack, but very weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
Spencer Davis group, Good Love, and give me some love.
Give me some love.
Which was very weird because why was he blasting the radio so
It was
loud?
so funny because at one point he's like 11-year-old in heavy metal or whatever
He
he
had
said.
a
He
Sweet
said
Def Leppard
something.
shirt on
Yeah.
at the one scene.
Who wasn't into heavy metal at that point, no matter how old you were?
So,
I mean,
yeah.
that was
Or,
like,
and that's all they
80s.
played on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you couldn't get away from it.
Playing Lee, not the Lee jeans, but playing Lee. He wants the cookies. Give him the cookies. Robert Downey Jr.
I love him.
That
Yeah.
cookie scene is ridiculous. Like what? Who's going to somebody's house and wanting the cookies?
I felt like ad-libbed, too.
It did.
Yeah.
It did seem very weird.
But I also feel like when you're the house that everyone is comfortable to go to, all your friends, that is how you act. Because the parents know you, you're friends with the parents.
She
Like,
even
that's
said it. I'm glad I went
exactly how you act.
shopping.
Yeah.
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 Michelle,
Where
actually,
yeah.
Michelle said, like, that looks familiar.
Yeah,
Where, like,
exactly.
6 guys walk into the house and just
Yeah.
take food and disappear.
Yeah.
You're all
'cause
out of drinks.
Our house was
Yeah.
always that house.
Yeah.
We've been that house for like 20 years now.
My house was not that house, but my best friend's house was that house. Like we were just always, and we were there on holidays and
Yeah, it wasn't my house. I went to somebody
Yeah.
else's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like 4 boys in my basement this weekend, and Charlie Sheen was not in that basement.
Brian Peck was?
Yeah, fuck him too.
We're Team Schneider.
Did we do
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker's top 4? And does it matter?
Well, because
Did
we've
we?
done her movie
Did-
before. It's all Sex and the City.
Yep.
so-
Yeah.
Okay, right. She looks like a foot.
And we've
Got
done
it.
Robert Downey Jr. before as well. So up next, we'll do Adam. Do you remember who Adam was?
I think I'm out of cast members.
was
I
that
don't
one
think
of the
I remember.
friends?
Adam.
Yeah, I forget who Adam was.
It
now,
wasn't
too.
their dad, right? What was their dad's name?
I remember Beckman.
No, I don't
I got
think
the dad's name. Hold on.
The dad was like a nobody, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think the
I don't
dad
think they
and the
ever called
girlfriend
him
ever.
Adam.
I think the dad and the girlfriend, the one, the they go to
Joanna.
Montreal to get
Yeah.
married. I don't think they ever did anything else.
Yeah, Alan. It's Alan. Is the
Alan.
dad's
Alan.
name,
Yeah, Alan.
How messed up is it? Oh, you're getting married when? Next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm not invited
And it
to
was
your
really funny
wedding.
because
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say Sean Astin. Corey Haim, he figured it out. He's like, when's he getting married? He's like, next week, because he knew he was going to Montreal next
Yeah.
week. And you don't even invite the kids to go
I
to the
know.
wedding.
That was shitty.
Michelle
Yeah.
said 15 times during this movie, "Where's the dad?
Yeah.
Where's the dad?"
The dad said
Call the dad.
repeatedly, he point
Call
blank,
the dad.
call me if
Where's
you
the
need
dad?
me.
Yeah.
Anytime, call me. Did they call? No, he did. He tried to call the dad in London, the dad,
Yeah.
but he's waited a while before calling the dad.
Yeah, he should have called sooner,
Yeah.
definitely.
Dads
Although,
suck
what's the
too.
dad gonna do?
Stepdads and dads suck.
Yeah.
I would have come and gotten the kids.
Well, he was in London.
Well,
And I'll get into what I thought about that later,
I would have
too.
been right down
One
the
of Jake's
street.
Yeah.
friends was J.D. Roth, and that's the kid with the red hair. He's like a game show host and that now. But
Who's which one of the older?
J.D. Roth.
The
He was
teenage
one of
friends?
Jake's friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was the redhead.
But he's currently
he currently does game shows on like Nickelodeon and stuff like that
Oh.
in
Don't
the
they?
late '90s and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah. But that's all I got for the cast.
It was a very tiny cast. It was condensed into
Yeah.
that house, and then like
I was hoping we'd get to see Russ for as much as they brought up Russ. How come we
Yeah.
never got to see him?
who was Russ?
The ex-boyfriend that they
Her
call
ex.
what happened to Russ?
Oh, right. Yeah, I felt like this movie took too long to get to the plot, and then they didn't. Like all of a sudden, Peter Weller was there,
Yeah.
living in the house. I'm like,
It did
damn,
take-
they could have shown them going on a date at least first
Yeah.
before
It
he
did
was just
take
like
a while to
waking
get
up,
to Peter Weller. Yeah.
and then he was just there.
But they
Yeah.
brought that up though. Like this is you're moving too fast. And all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
they did mention
But
that.
you could have seen them like at least
we got to see
hooking up or something
Corey
like
Haim had a
that.
Conan shirt on too at one point.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think part of that too is they did go on a date because you saw his truck, but then the dad showed up, and I think she was kind of hoping like
Oh, she
they'd
was
get back
definitely thinking
together.
she was getting back.
So
Oh,
as
yeah.
soon as he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting married," because I think
She
I'm
was
assuming that's
going
what
to
they
that
whispered.
dinner at first.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a whole
Yeah.
team of
Right.
people cleaning the
Cleaning the
house
house
and
yep,
stuff.
Yeah. And she
And-
wanted him to see the house. 'cause
Yes.
She kept saying,
Yeah.
fluffing
And
up
he
the
said, "Can I
flowers.
talk to you?" And then
Yeah.
you don't hear what they're talking about.
But it was
She's like,
clearly
"I'm gonna
like,
stay
I'm getting
here."
married, yeah. But, and then, because she had gone on a date with him once, and then when she was rejected, kind of in a way, by the dad,
Yeah.
I think she went all in on
she was
Sam.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
She kind of like, so she was like, yeah. But that's also when Brian introduced himself to Sam. Do you remember what he said his name was?
Yes,
He said something weird, and
I
I didn't catch
forget.
it, but
Adolf.
Oh, yeah, Adolf, that's
did
right.
it really say it all?
Yeah, he did.
I did not pick up on that.
He also, I had some stuff. Just I like one-liners, and like there was like a lot of fun
Oh,
name
how about this
calling
one?
in this
Head,
movie.
crotch, feet.
Yeah,
I have that. That's you have to remember head, crotch, feet. It's so funny because as we're watching this, Logan just looked at Michelle and he's like, "I think I have athlete's foot." And I was like, "Well, you better get that checked out. You don't want to lose those
Right,
nuts, dude."
Tough acting, tenactic, dude.
So Logan was. He felt like as soon as the guy said, "I had athlete's foot once," he sounded like Bookman from. I had athlete's foot once. It crawled up my leg and I lost a testicle. And Logan's like, "I have athlete's foot, Mom," and she's like, "I'll order you stuff." Scared straight from a 40-year-old movie. See, that's what after-school specials did.
Yeah, they did.
educated you
Yeah.
and scared
Yeah.
the hell out of you. This was an after-school special.
I'm
That's
gonna
also how
teach you
Coach Gant lost
bozos.
one of his testicles.
How do you do that?
He
Yeah.
lost
Like,
a testicle to
But they had a
because
whole-
he wiped his feet first, right?
they had a whole meeting out in the yard. And he goes, "I'm
and
going
they
to
had to
teach
go-
you bozos how to dry yourself
and they had
after
to
a
dry
shower."
over the drying procedure.
At that point too, Wendy and Alan was split up for 2 years. For her to be thinking that they were getting back together was just wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, did they say that? They were already
they were
split up
Yeah.
for
2
2 years?
years. Yeah. Also, at one point, Sam says to Jake, he says, "Hey Jake, take it slow." What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
It's just an 80s thing to say.
Take it slow.
Yeah.
You know?
I was surprised they were playing lacrosse in 1984 because I didn't even know what lacrosse was when I went to college
That
in
looked painful,
88.
didn't it? Did it look painful?
Oh, there was a fucking illegal hit there, but the fact that they were playing lacrosse that early in the 80s, I
Yeah.
thought that was very progressive for that New Jersey town. Because
Well, you saw the school. Once I saw the school, I was like, these are like rich kids.
oh yeah, for sure.
You
But
know.
they were living not a rich kid.
No, they didn't have.
house.
Yeah,
They were,
what
they
did
were
the-
living in a
because
regular-
I mean, it was
Yeah.
very
they were in a
upper middle
decent
class.
house.
They were in a
Sure.
nice house. They were in a nice
Yeah.
area. Yeah.
That was a nice
they
house.
lived,
But they were in New
lived-
Jersey. They weren't in that California neighborhood that you're
That's-
used to seeing in 80s
that's
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
But they
That's
were
what it
living
was.
very close to that power plant there where they drove their.
They got to make New Jersey look like an armpit too. They always
Yeah.
have to make it look like crap for some reason.
They don't have to try hard to do that.
What was the teacher's name?
Oh.
the guy with the mustache?
That guy was crazy.
Logan
that
said he had
guy
the
was
best
weird,
hair.
yeah.
He's like, he's got his mustache all thing. He's a lightweight, by the way, that guy.
We were shocked. He goes, he's Beckman. Maybe if you spent as much time studying as you do stuff in your face.
I know.
I was like, wow.
Fat shaming the poor
You could
kid.
just do that in the 80s.
Fat
In the 80s
shaming,
you
they can
could.
still, that's one thing you can still do now. They do fat shaming. It's still allowed on.
Oh, can you still get away with that?
Yeah, you can still do that. Yeah, but Sam played for the Phillies farm team.
I in
remember where
Nebraska. He said
Yeah.
Nebraska, and
Yeah.
I
Oh, I thought
immediately.
he said Alaska.
No, he said
Nebraska.
Nebraska. I'm like, did the Phillies
okay.
ever play Nebraska? I couldn't find any proof
I didn't
that
find
they
anything
did.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, well, neither did Jake because there was no internet. So
But I just thought like they would have claimed a town. Like,
Yeah.
if they had said Oklahoma City, I would have been like, I remember when the Phillies played in Oklahoma City.
probably
like, a
because
million
because he
years
was
ago.
making it up on the spot.
You're
so
probably right about that.
yeah.
I was telling Zach this, but like Robert Downey Jr. always seems like out of place in these movies. He's like he always dresses different. He has like
Yeah.
a weird outfit
He's
on.
He
quirky.
is an L.A. kid in New Jersey in this movie.
But that's what I'm saying. They
should
don't
not
change.
be
They
in
don't
this.
change him. He shouldn't belong in this
He
movie.
should not have been.
That's what I like
acting
about him.
that.
He's like the hip one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he was 5 years ahead of this town. You're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
where'd you find that outfit?
He was like,
Yeah.
it was like he was from outer
Those kids.
space.
But
He was from
with the
I mean, he had the earrings,
Yeah,
so.
he got an earring in '84. That was very ahead of the game.
All we got is Melba toast.
Oh, and Logan had asked me if he's like, did they do like corporate sponsorship back then in those days? I'm like, what do you
yeah,
mean? He's
clearly
like,
with the
he's
Coke
like,
and Pepsi.
Tropicana is all over. Like every
Yeah.
every
'cause he
time
kept
they're in the
drinking out of the
kitchen,
carton, yeah.
every time they're in the kitchen, the Tropicana carton's out, and it's they turn it so you can see the label
They
of
did that with the
Tropicana.
Coke can
like,
and yeah, and they did it with Coke and Pepsi, both
Yeah.
of them, clear as day.
Because it's a weird thing for actors to probably have to stop and like take a drink as they're in
Yeah.
a scene, but they had to make. Let me just turn. Let me just turn this.
Yeah.
And the Lucky Charms. Then there was the Lucky Charms he was
They get the
eating.
Lucky Charms. Yep.
That apple juice, I couldn't figure out if that apple juice was any kind
Was
of
it
brand.
Martinelli's?
I don't know, but it was. I never saw apple juice in a container
It's
like
either
that
Mott's or
before.
Martinelli's. There are really only two
It
apple
wasn't
juices.
And it was
I
the
would drink.
cool, the old Lucky Charms box too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But the Coke can looked exactly the same as it does
Did it
today.
have the pull tab? I think it had the
Oh,
pull
yeah.
tab.
They didn't show
Probably
that.
had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The joint, the ring. You take it
I
off.
don't remember that.
This movie had the
remember that?
misfortune. It opened on the same day.
I'm a lot younger than you, okay?
This movie opened up on the same day as Terminator. So that's
Oh.
why it did not do well in the theater.
I don't know if that's the reason it
I
didn't do
didn't know
well.
Terminator was like
Why
a
it's a
huge.
factor.
Was
Yeah.
that a big box office hit?
But I mean, it definitely wasn't. It definitely beat out Firstborn.
I'm sure it
yeah.
did, but
I never heard of Terminator as a kid until Terminator 2 came out. And then I was like,
T2.
what's T2? What's
Yeah.
2?
I
never
remember
even
my
heard of 1.
grandmother saw Terminator in the theater because she was like one of those people that went to the movies every weekend. And she's like, I saw this movie, Terminator. I'm like, oh, tell me about it. And she told me about it. I'm like, that sounds awful because it was my grandmother telling
Yeah.
me about it. And then, of course, when I saw it like the next year on video,
You're
I'm
like,
like,
"Grandma!"
this is the best fucking movie
I didn't
ever."
even know. If you would have told me that this movie didn't get a theatrical release, I would have believed you.
I would have thought this would have been on
But it was
ABC.
on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
A
good.
TV movie. Yeah.
I thought it was it felt
ABC around
Lifetime,
3 o'clock.
Lifetime movie to me. I was really hoping though
Movie
it was
of the week kind
yeah,
of
like
thing, yeah.
I was really hoping more of like a at the end either the dad or somebody comes back and they end up having to kill him, kind of like a Hand That Rocks the Cradle thing where he's
He
terrorizing
just
them
leaves
and then
at
they
the end.
go
It's like, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
What
Just
a,
a bye.
like, after he like
See.
he could have beat the shit out of those people and stayed.
Easily.
I mean, like, why
Dude,
did you just
yeah.
get up and leave?
All it
Yeah.
takes to get him out is 2 kicks in the nuts,
Yes.
and then I think 1 punch.
But
Yeah.
now he's
that
ready
punch
for it.
knocked
Get up.
him out.
He should have gotten up and just wailed on Jake and just.
I mean, he
knocked
threw
him to
Jake into the
ground.
wall. He had his head against the floor a couple times.
Dude, he's,
Yeah.
he's the firstborn.
Banging someone's head into a floor like that, a hardwood floor.
You could do some serious damage,
There
yeah.
should have been blood.
I really was excited when Brian came down the stairs with the bat. I'm like, let's
Yes.
fucking
Yes.
go, Brian,
know.
the hero of the movie.
He got thrown.
He got thrown across the whole
Yeah,
room.
and he really, I mean, if that wasn't a stunt double, because it didn't look like it was a stunt double,
No.
he like
Yeah.
flew into the wall. I
Corey
think that-
Haim, too, yeah,
I think
it
that
looked-
caused
it
all
looked
his
like him.
stress that led to his drug addiction and his untimely
Yeah.
death.
The only thing that looked like a stunt double to me was that was clear was when he was on the bike during the chase.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
he was
Oh, yeah.
like,
Especially when he became an expert motocross guy at the
jumping
end.
up in the air.
That was so.
He was doing that. He was like pulling the handlebars.
That was so 80s. I loved that.
It was great because he was just like he was like flying. He was
Yeah.
like jumps were insane.
And the
It was like-
Bronco. I mean, it's just. And there was another scene too. There was like a short little montage when he runs away from school and he gets on the bike.
yes.
During the day, where he's like doing the jumps.
It's so
Like,
80s.
Peter Weller replaced Tom Berenger in the lead male adult role of Sam. according to an article published in the April 25th, 1984 issue of show business trade paper Daily Variety.
What the hell did Tom
It
Berenger
was
have
due,
to
it was
do
due
with
to
this?
an automobile accident of the ladder in Norwalk. So Tom Berenger was in an automobile accident.
So he's
He could have been really good at that too. I think he would have been good in this movie
Yeah.
as well.
But Peter Weller has a really good.
He was
I'm gonna
good.
kick your
Yeah.
fucking
And
ass face.
the crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
had
when
a
he was
really good
when he was
face.
there watching TV when they all came home and they were in the refrigerator, the cookie thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were in the refrigerator and then he decided to leave. He had that pissed off look on his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, here
Oh,
comes
boy.
Peter Weller.
I thought that Corey Haim and whoever, whatever the real guy actor's name is who played his brother, looked like they were really brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked a lot alike. They were really, both of them were really cute.
There were multiple scenes in this movie where Terry Garr and Christopher Collette, is that his name?
Yeah, I know where you're going with
Where
this.
they were like
Creepy.
gazing into
Yeah.
each other's eyes,
Yeah.
and she's like,
She said, "You're so
"You
beautiful."
grew up into such
I
a
know.
handsome young man, and that's fine. A mom can say that to
Yes.
her son." But then in the next scene, he's like, "Mom, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
You should be going out
But
there."
grabbed
he
his
was
hand.
watching her.
She grabbed his
She
hand.
was like fussing with her shirt, and then he walked in her room. She was in her bra, and he didn't immediately turn around
Yeah.
and hightail it out
Yep.
of there. Anybody would have done that. Seen their
I've
parents in their
never
underwear.
ever. I love my mother. I've never been like, "Mom, you're looking so good." I've
Yeah.
never done the sexy voice like, "You're looking
Yeah.
so good today."
I felt the same way.
How about when Jake catches them with the lines of coke?
Oh,
First of all,
on
there's
the-
stingy
Yeah.
lines of coke.
Yeah. He puts his hands over it.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah, but he did it like
But
so
like he's
slow.
staring
He's
there
like
for the
one
longest time,
hand,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then the other hand, like you didn't see that, and then she's like, well, like what?
and then it was like, "You're next."
Yeah, he just goes, "That's life."
That's like. At least do it on the dining room table if you're going to try to hide it.
I was
From
like,
the
and it was
kids.
just like it was a perfect spot. Him coming down the steps, just like,
But I wasn't sure. It's like a pool table a good surface for Coke? Like I guess it is, but it's like kind of plastic. Yeah, I don't know.
I
if
think
you like,
it was
felt.
the pinball
It's like
machine.
felt- yeah,
oh,
you're-
pinball, yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, I guess the glass. They're on the
I
glass.
know, but it's like kind of like a shitty glass on top.
Well,
of
she
it.
goes, "When did you get so big?" And good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they hugged, and he's like smelling her hair.
Yeah, he was in the crook of her neck. Like,
Yeah.
This movie was supposed to be something completely different.
clearly.
That's why they were talking about Firstborn. Like,
You're a cokehead, aren't you?
that was a great line. You're a cokehead.
I think they made her look like one pretty well in the near the end of the movie. I thought. So.
I mean, she was stirring with a fork. I don't know if you noticed that. So she was pretty whacked out.
Because she was such a good mom at the beginning, like getting everybody their lunches and getting dinner prepared.
Then there's
and-
KFC.
And I get it.
Yeah.
The mom
That
needs to
bucket
get
is
some.
good.
She was like probably like 35 at the oldest.
you don't
in
get a
this.
bucket like that anymore.
No.
You could tell they were
Yeah.
classy because they took the chicken out of the bucket
And
and
the
put
fries.
it in a
Yeah.
nice bowl.
The fries were in their own
In my
like,
house,
kind
you
of
were
thing.
eating it out of the bucket, and everyone's hands were just going
Yeah,
in
you
the
could
bucket.
tell
She even said, she's like, wash your hands. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, you just walk
And they were going like
outside.
this.
They did that as like a sign of like she's not being a good mom anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what's this all about? Now she's not doing this. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the house was a mess, and didn't the son say something like, "Why don't you like clean up her eye or something?" And then she got mad, but you made this mess. Like they really did a good job at just showing her decline as a mother. Those kids need to be taken away from her because even just because she kicked him out, she's still unfit. She
Yeah,
still
yeah.
needs to like. Hopefully, the dad finds
I
out
mean,
what happened.
maybe those kids could go up to Montreal and stay some time with their
Yeah.
dad.
Now,
Yeah.
was he was just getting married in Montreal, right? They weren't living
No.
there.
No.
Yeah.
But I don't
He was
even know
always
where
like,
he did
he was a
live.
world
Because they had
traveler.
business in London too.
Yeah.
And it had been 3 months since they've seen each other, so I think he lives far anyway.
Maybe he was living out in California.
Which makes
Yeah.
you, like, obviously that's why they got a
He brought
divorce.
the
He was
clothes
probably
back
never
for Lee.
around.
Oh yeah,
That's
why
why Robert Downey Jr. had his clothes
yeah.
because he brought them from California.
You remember-
Why would you divorce 35-year-old Terry Garr? It's because she probably was like, "You're never here," and
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah.
Because Terry Garr's at the top of her game here.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
looks gorgeous. I was really happy they got to keep the pinball machine though. He
Do you
just
think
left that
do you
there.
think he came back
That
the
looked
next
so
day? and said,
weird,
"Can
right?
you go-
All of a
can you go
sudden,
to
his
pinball?"
stuff was there in the pinball
In
machine.
Yeah.
the middle of their living
Yeah.
room, I was like, "That's not the spot for that."
Yeah.
They had
They
a
had
basement.
Yep,
Yeah.
put it in the basement. Totally.
Mesquite will make your tennis shoes taste good, apparently. And during that scene, I was noting all this stuff. He grabbed her ass like right in front
Oh,
of.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not good.
Come on, come on, Sam.
It's just so fun. Like that first scene that he like walks down the stairs, he's kind of like doing the old like, I just
Yeah.
got done banging your mom.
Like, and it's so loud.
You know the kids are down there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hear
Where was
them.
she?
So
Why did
Yeah.
well, she was
She
still
knew.
she was still in bed. He said,
Yeah.
but like you're meeting these kids for the first time. He's like, I guess this was
Your
the way
mom
we
got
should have met.
coffee around here.
Yeah.
That's
Try
where
the tea.
That's where the mom is like telling him,
It'll take the edge
don't
off.
go down yet.
Yeah.
Don't go down. I'll
Yeah.
introduce you guys tonight at dinner. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, just don't come walking out of my sex bed.
And you
just
know,
be
the 16-year-old kid's gonna
your
think
mom's
that.
good at sex.
The firstborn's got to know about the sex because he's been dreaming about her having sex with her all day.
Oh my God, he really was.
The dad, when they go out to dinner with the
Alan?
new the real dad,
Yeah.
when he's like, "Good news, guys." Whatever, Janet, Joanne, whatever her name is, we're going to Montreal and getting married. I'm like, in what world are the kids thinking like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for the
I
good news,
know.
Dad. Can
They're
we go
just
home
like,
now?
Yeah.
You saw it in their face, just like the dejection, because I think they were getting set up for
Yeah.
Dad's coming back.
Well,
want- yeah,
you know,
wanted
they
to
should
save
really
her.
like live with her because she's probably a better mom than what they got.
they're
so.
better off living with her, I think.
Yeah.
She just got caught up with Sam. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she have to go to rehab anything after this, or did she just like
I mean,
Kroger? She's
you
like,
think-
just
you think
I'm
she went cold turkey?
just weekend, just
Yeah.
weekend Coke. I'm good. You know,
No,
maybe
yeah.
like
Once Sam's out of the house, she's probably fine.
Yeah. And then they up and left their kids and went to Lake George for the weekend with just a
Yeah,
note and
right.
$40.
I never understand why.
It was unexpected.
Yeah.
You know, like, is that
And
the
the
mom-
guy in the house?
Is
That was freaky.
Is that,
That
the
was
mom's
weird,
Is that
yeah.
mom's
Yeah.
handwriting? Oh, where he turns the corner and the guy's just like,
I was
his
like,
face,
wait a
what are you
second.
You
doing
live here? He's like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
When oh shit, I had a fucking thought. Now I gotta look what my thought was. Why does everybody in the history of drugs always hide their drugs in the same spot? And I don't mean the floorboard spot, the jewelry case with the false bottom thing. I was like, if you're looking for someone's drugs in the house, that is exactly where you go. I mean, that's where in Silence of the Lambs, that's where the hidden pictures were of the girl.
Were you
I'm
expecting there to be
my
no
God,
drugs up in that thing when he reached up in there?
Oh,
Yeah, at first I thought, yeah.
the look on his face, he was like, "Fuck, they're not here."
Yeah.
He's like, "How am I getting out of this?" But
That would
then
have
they
been
were
more
there.
interesting if
Yeah.
they weren't actually in there.
And because then it would have been a whole nother conspiracy of
Or
who took the
if
drugs.
they get him to leave and then the mom and then they open up the restaurant for them.
Yes.
The mom could open
They
up the
keep
restaurant
the
by
drugs.
herself.
Yeah.
And the worst plan was to go back to the house after he had evaded him. Like, go to, I don't know, the police station or an all night diner or something like that. Go somewhere there was people. Don't
Yeah.
go back to the house.
Yeah. And I also felt like I was thinking, oh, the drugs aren't going to be in there. Now those two guys or that one creepy guy
They're
was
gonna come out,
was
yeah.
going to come and there's going to be like a fight because they're going to want their drugs and blah, blah, blah. And then the guy's like, oh, you don't have them? All right, bye.
He's like,
He
told
never,
you.
he
That
never
doesn't
had
happen.
Yeah,
him.
told you. Just like,
Yeah.
Amateur, he
Yeah.
never had him.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
that's
there's
it?
no way they're walking out.
That's
there.
how a drug deal goes down in 1984. There's no guns.
No, I was fully expecting like, you better get us those drugs. We're going to beat up your mother and then
guess
slap her around a
I
little
guess they
bit.
gave him the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mom
Well,
would have
I
been
bought
kidnapped.
that because I thought it was just like he was telling them he had a good deal for them. And so it's not like,
so
it's
it's
not like he
yeah.
owed them
It's
anything.
not,
Yeah.
like it's not like it was their drugs. He was
I was
selling
thinking
it to
that
them.
he was
yeah.
going to.
Yeah. But that,
Yeah.
going back to the house thing is like an 80s trope. Like in Mortuary that we watched,
Yeah.
like people, whenever they would get away from the killer, or even in Halloween, they run back to their own house.
Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that fits in
Get
with
as
the 80s.
far away as possible. And
Exactly.
like, he was out at that power station, and
Yeah.
he could have gone anywhere from there.
You know who
I mean,
the
I guess-
narrator was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
What was that?
Do you know who the narrator was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No.
John Larroquette.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh,
And he was
I
in
had
the
no idea.
current Texas Chainsaw, the most recent version of that too. He was the narrator in that too. When they're eating dinner after, it's like the makeup dinner where they're all like, "We're gonna get along now," and everything's gonna be. I mean, it's just a table like this, and
Yeah.
they're eating like a regular dinner of
Like
like
the
sloppy
Chinese
joes.
food meal?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Peking duck. She
Yeah.
was Peking duck.
And he
Yeah.
kept making that joke. And
They
she
had-
thought it was
they
the
had,
funniest
In
joke ever.
space.
Peking, yeah, like
They had like
peeking in.
the
Is that what it was?
candle opera going with the. I'm like,
Yeah.
who's lighting candles at
It's
like
just-
a
it's so
regular
funny.
teenage dinner?
Terry Garr was
kind
all
of thing?
coked out. He's so funny.
Yeah.
They told two jokes. You didn't
Yeah.
write down the jokes?
I
No,
didn't
no,
write it
but
down
I
either.
didn't write it down, but I know it. It's
Peak.
along the lines of, did you hear about the new restaurant they opened on the moon? Food's great, but the atmosphere is
Yeah.
terrible, or something like
And
that.
then the other one was Peking. It had something
Words
to
of
do with
Peking,
Yeah,
or
or
something.
something. Peking in. or
Because she
something
came
like
running
Yeah.
in from the kitchen saying, "I knew we had Peking duck," and that's when the guys went up to get the coke out of the bedroom.
I thought it was hilarious because Jake knew during that dinner that the Coke was gone.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like smiling.
And they're all making that. Yeah, we're gonna get along now. Everything's gonna be great. Everybody's on the same page now.
I'm like, dude, you're
everybody's
gonna die.
There was a Wang Chung song in the soundtrack.
Was
I just
there
looked it
really?
up, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
There is a Nation, but then there was Fats Domino, Blueberry Hill, Give Me Some Love in the Spencer Davis Group,
I heard
Runner
that.
by Manfred Mann, It's My Life by Talk
Yeah,
Talk,
heard
and
that.
Why Is It So Hard by Talk Talk.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Blueberry Hill in this either. I don't know when that was.
I don't remember it either.
Who sang that
What
all
was
the
he
time?
listening to when he was playing the 45s? And he's like, if you want to listen to my
Oh,
records,
that might have been that because he said
Yeah.
they were
he's
all.
like, that's my time
he
or
said they were all
something.
Yeah, he
old
liked
time
all
songs.
these, yeah.
That might have been what he was
Yep.
playing.
When he drives into the town square when he's running away from Sam, I was like, this looks like Hill Valley. Like, if there's a clock tower in this scene here, I'm going to expect a DeLorean to come flying by in a couple of seconds. I don't know where they got. Maybe they're on the back lot of Universal and they all use the same thing. But I was like, man, that looks like a Hill Valley town hall.
That's another one where he almost slept with his mom.
And,
Yeah, that's another 80s
Yeah.
trope.
So if you're stealing the coke to fuck over your stepfather or your
mom's
boyfriend, you don't hide it. You either flush it down the toilet or you sell it yourself or
Yeah.
you do the
Do it.
coke yourself.
Yeah.
You don't
He could have
just
got some
hide
girls
it.
at school.
So I was just kind of surprised that the option 4 was the one that he went with because all the other options were better.
Yeah.
And
you know,
flushing is not a good option either.
You know, Lee would have been interested in doing some of those drugs
Oh.
with him. Lee was down for doing some
Well,
coke.
if he flushed it, he wouldn't have. He was using it as leverage. To
Sure.
say, like, if you get out of the house, I'll tell you where it's at.
I guess you're right
Yeah.
about that. But maybe he could have sold it and just be like, I got your 10 grand right here, dude.
Well, then he would have.
We're opening
yeah.
up ourselves, bitch.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
It was just so funny how that restaurant thing kept coming up. And she's like, oh, that's my idea too. I want to be involved. I'm like, like a restaurant? You know how hard that is to
Yeah.
do?
I like when he's complaining about the restaurant that they're at. I thought
Yeah.
that was funny.
That's
the steak. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, like,
Oh,
mine's
yeah.
fine.
He's like,
that was like the first. That was like the first sign that he was a dick. Because up until that point, he seemed to be a nice guy.
but
Yeah.
Jake was even a dick at the dinner, like because the way he said his mind's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were eating lobster at the restaurant with the dad.
Yeah,
They
were
had
eating
their
well.
lobster
They were eating
bibs
well.
I should have stayed with him. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened between them, but
Yeah, maybe that.
It's a
He's like,
shame.
I just don't want you. He's like, or maybe his new girl didn't want the kids.
Or he's one of those guys going to start a new family and then just forget about those kids.
And then 10 years
And what
later,
did-
like, we should really get together.
Yeah.
You should
yeah.
really talk to your sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they would say.
It's your
It's like, it's not
sister.
my sister, dude. All right.
She's 20 years younger than me.
Did they ever reveal what the mom did for work? Like, how did she afford
I
that
don't
out?
think she did. She work?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was she could have been a stay-at-home mom. The dad might have paid for the house, kind of like.
Well, yeah,
Maybe,
I kind of
right.
figured the dad had lived there, and then he left.
Yeah.
and she got the house, and he's probably paying out the nose for child support.
It's
But it
not
was
easy,
2 years,
Yeah.
though, so, you know,
Yeah,
bills and stuff.
There was a scene maybe halfway through where it's just Peter Weller and Jake sitting there talking, and Peter Weller's like giving him his life story, and you could just tell like Jake was like,
You're a piece of shit.
why are you telling me all this stuff? Like, what is going on here? It was such a weird scene because, you know, when you get older, you're going to have to, oh my God, dude. Like, I've known you for like a week.
Yeah, you're not my dad.
Don't
Yeah.
start giving me your life advice, man.
Well, then another bad mom move is when Jake was going off about how he's bullshitting and he's a liar. She then
told him because he quoted it back to him after
Yeah.
he dropped
Yeah, and he said, "Get off my back," or whatever he
barbell
did.
on him,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
In
then,
that scene, did you catch the Jersey Devils
I
poster?
have it in my. I
Yeah.
said he's an early adopter of the New Jersey Devils.
That's when I knew it was Jersey, yeah.
Because that was only 2 years after they got there. They
Oh,
got there
right,
in
'cause
82,
82.
and he's 84, yeah.
oh, really? I didn't know that.
The weights that he was lifting were so
He had like
small.
a
He
10
just
pound
picked it up
weight
with
on
one
there.
hand.
Yeah.
He's one-handed that.
Well, he's going for tone. He's a lacrosse player. He doesn't want to be bulky.
yeah.
He wants to
Yeah.
be like swift.
Yeah.
And that was a cheap shot on the field there where he knocked the kid
yeah.
over. My God.
Yeah.
And the coach just said, hey,
Yeah.
let's do that again.
So let's see it in the game.
Yeah.
I didn't care if he did it in practice. I want to see it in the game.
And I have a line here, killing a crow. That's an ominous sign. But what did that...
He shot
Oh,
the crow.
yeah.
Oh,
When he
yeah,
hit the-
okay.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't like that.
They both started I loved this movie. They both started acting out after Sam moved in. Jake started acting out with, they're in a field, he's drinking wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's experimenting with alcohol.
Michelle's like, is that a bottle of Jack? I'm like, I mean, the way he's drinking, I hope not.
It was like
but-
It was almost like
Yeah.
he's drinking rosé.
It was in
Yeah.
1968.
Yes.
Yes. Is that a good year?
He was older than them.
And
She's
then,
like, oh my God, this might be really good wine.
No.
Expensive.
well, the other, Haim, whatever, Brian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
He
yeah.
starts not experimenting. He starts acting out by killing animals and getting in fights at school a lot.
Yeah.
And he won
Yeah.
every fight. I wish we could seen one of his fights,
I know.
especially against that bastard Max, because he
Yeah.
kept saying like, "Max can't beat me up." Like I was
Yeah.
like, "I want to see you fight
He
Max."
was a
Let's
good
go.
fighter back then. He was a scrapper.
Man.
Yeah.
It's like one day you're going to get your ass kicked.
But I wish he had just been like, "No, I'm not." Like, look how tough I am. No
Yeah.
one's gonna
Well, he
kick my
does. He goes,
ass.
not by Max.
When they're are they at the mall together? All they have is like Sam Goody bag. I know that they're wrestling around.
Because he had the album
Jake had,
bag,
he had the Sam Goody bag. I was like, man, I remember Sam Goody. I hated that fucking store, man. In the Quick Original.
Listening booth, Sam Goody.
I was a listening booth fan.
Wall-to-wall
Wall to
sound.
wall.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my friend and I got dropped off at the mall for the day, and we went to, what was the one that was a speaker on the outside?
Listening
That was
booth.
listening booth.
Listening booth. So we go there, and I got,
Do you hear something?
it's my phone, sorry.
I was gonna say I hear like music or
No, it's
something.
my
Is it
mom.
vibrating?
My friend got the Extreme, when Extreme was out.
Oh, yeah. More than words.
She got that, and
The
I think I got
acoustic
like
album.
either
More
Belle Biv
than
DeVoe, yeah,
words.
and I got like Color Me Bad or Belle Biv DeVoe or something. Anyway, she
Nice.
went home that day, and her mom flipped out.
On the Velvet DeVoe?
No, on the Extreme, because I think it was like called Porno.
Oh, Porno Graffiti.
Porno Graffiti.
Yeah.
Whew. Her mom took her back to listening booth and screamed at every single person in that store.
That's embarrassing.
Because they sold that album to like a 12-year-old.
There's not explicit lyrics on it.
No, there's
What
not.
album?
Yeah,
The
but you should
Extreme
listen to
album?
Yeah, it was
Porno
called
Graffiti
Porno
it was called.
Graffiti because it was called Porno Graffiti. Flipped out. She was mortified, but she went in that store with her daughter and she reamed out the whole store screaming that she sold it to two 12-year-olds.
That's a wild
Yeah.
name for an album. Like the way
I
that
know.
that album
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah.
doesn't-
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
Especially
it
when
doesn't.
it was the album
It
that is, you're
doesn't.
like, dude.
You're expecting something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you're like, these guys? Really?
Yeah.
I always showed my mom all the albums I got.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my god,
I
this
love
is awful."
listening booth. You go into the mall and then going in listening booth and just hanging
Picking up
out
the
there.
headphones and putting them on.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I'm getting
so
this
great.
Yeah,
album.
We used
Yeah.
to park.
Do that.
We used to park on that side just so we could hit
Yeah.
listening booth first. Like that was the first thing you hit.
And then it became what was the
Listening
first
booth
one
Bravo,
that gave you
and
the little sticker? So if you ever scratched your CD, you could go back if you had that sticker on it and get a whole new one.
I don't know that.
Yeah, so you could.
Was that CD World?
No, it was.
I remember that.
It became FYE
Used to buy tickets
at
there.
one point. The store became FYE, but it was.
That was Sam Goody down there at that end by
For
the
your
JC Penney's
entertainment,
down there.
yeah.
Well, this was Octa Valley Mall, so I don't know if it was different.
Oh.
But every time you bought a CD, they put a sticker on the outside so that it would tell you, "Oh, we got this sticker here," and you can go back to my CD is skipping, and they give you a whole new one as long as you
Really?
had that sticker on your CD. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I'd never heard that policy.
Yeah, I didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know
would
what
have used
is.
that a lot because a lot of my CDs
Yeah.
were just strewn about the floor of my
Yeah.
car.
Or if you didn't buy it from there, you just got a friend who did use their case, took it back, whatever. But yeah,
Oh, wow, that's a smart idea too.
You did the songs. Did you have the band? Because I heard a band song in this movie.
The band?
The band.
The band, yeah.
Oh, up on Cripple Creek, right? Yeah.
During the party.
That wasn't in the soundtrack. It was like up on. I remember hearing that. Yeah, up
Yeah.
on Cripple Creek, Chief.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, up on Creek.
So this fight started at dinner time because they were sitting around with the dinner, and that's when the guys came
Yes.
for the Coke, and that's when
Yeah.
he said, "Where's the Coke?" and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. And by the time Sam got kicked out,
It was dawn.
Dawn was coming.
Yes.
It was getting light outside. I'm like, this was like a 12-hour
Yeah,
fight.
right.
I was
Yeah.
like, I wish we had seen more of the fight.
Yeah.
because
I really wanted to see more of that fight. I wanted to. There was no blood at all.
no.
Someone needed to bleed, like to make it more
They kept it
convincing and more.
PG-13. That's why they
Yeah.
put blood in it when it went
Yeah.
that hard.
I mean, he fell off the motorbike. You're gonna get scraped up doing that.
When he
Yeah.
drags him out of the house, when they come back to the house after he's crashed through the laundry room window,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they go out, and Terry Garr's like, "What?" And they both had like blood in the same spot. It was almost
Yeah.
like they were resting their heads against each other. And
That's
I
when
was
he was
like,
throwing laundry at him.
I was
Like,
gonna say, he hit
when
him
Terry-
with a wicker basket.
yeah.
Is that when Terry
did
Garr
throw
came
the-
chasing Brian in the house? Remember? She's like, Brian! And he ran
Yeah.
upstairs.
Remember when he broke the door down?
Yes.
Fell on
"Oh,
him.
the
That
little
was
like
insane.
That was
the
a
little."
weird door
That
to
was
begin
Three
with. We
Stooges.
were
That was very
yeah.
Three Stooges.
Yeah.
That was good.
And then he was like hitting him from behind the door.
Yeah. You had all those things when he's coming through the window, so he's really vulnerable, and you had all these things at your,
You
right
grab
in front of
you
you
grab
grab a
something
wicker
heavy. Yeah.
basket that was clearly empty, that wouldn't hurt anybody, and you hit him
It
with
probably
that.
tickled him. He's like,
Yeah.
I had when he was looking for it. He goes, I think it was Brian that goes, "What'd he lose? His dick?"
Yes, yes, that was the best line because that was the most R-rated line in the movie.
that came from Brian, too. That was great.
Because at one point he calls him Fig Face. I'm like, fig face. I'm like, do you
Brian-
mean fuck face? And you just can't say fuck in this movie.
Brian had the best. He also had tastes like rat piss.
Yes.
He had the best. He was the best character in this.
He
because
was
whenever-
really good.
Whenever he was in it, something funny was happening or something interesting was happening. Even like when Jake goes to like bail him out of school and he's talking to the teacher, you see him like
He's looking
giving him the eye.
I'm running out of notes.
I
Anybody have
have
anything
notes.
else you want to add?
Nope.
I knew the cake meant trouble.
What's that?
He said I knew the cake meant trouble.
No.
In trouble.
That was a good line.
Oh, I really loved the kid. I don't know if you noticed, the kid was doing a report in school on Rocky.
Yes, yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes.
The teacher said that was Rocky. I told you to pick a historical person. It's not even a real person.
And then, dude, that teacher was
That
amazing.
was a great scene though, where he said like gave him an F for plagiarizing, and he's like, "Oh, go get the book right now." And I'm like,
He's
I
like,
have
"I
the
have
same
the
book.
Well, he goes, we died laughing at this line from the teacher. He goes, whoop, whoop, boring alert.
That's pretty savage move for a
He was
teacher,
not a nice teacher.
Yeah.
Especially for, well, he was 10th grade, right? He said 10th
Yeah,
grade,
10th
so
grade.
like that's not cool.
I
man.
thought they were going to fight when he kept him
It seemed
after
like he might
class.
I
say
know.
like it was going to be some
Yeah.
sort of blows. Where he's
If
like,
this was a better movie, there would have been a fight between him and the teacher. Yeah, he would
Yeah.
have just knocked him out, or at least
he's like,
pushed him.
I
and
did that
run
because the
out.
guy at home. That's why I did that.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I got a bad case of athlete's foot. He goes, I woke
Take
up
one of your
screaming in the
balls
middle
off.
of the night. And that's how I lost one of my testicles.
It spread.
Coach Gant, man, he had a rough time. That's the only thing he did, Coach Gant.
He reminded me of
Wow.
like Emmett Walsh, like from the like back to school, like swimming coach.
Yeah.
Like, he reminded me of that kind of coach. Just like, I'm just doing this to like earn a paycheck.
I
don't care
gotta
about
pay my
anything.
bookie this week.
And they were watching The Price is Right on the TV
Yes,
at one point.
that's right.
I caught that.
Oh, really?
That's when he came
I
home.
missed
Was
Is
that.
that when Peter Weller was just on the couch?
When he
like,
came
waiting
home
on
and
the
they
couch?
when they had to said the cookie line.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
didn't
remember
catch
who
that.
said this either, but someone said, eat shit, dick face.
I'm going to say Brian said that because he had the best
Yeah.
line.
It had to
He
be,
did.
yeah.
He had the best line, so give him that one too.
I definitely will give him. He's what
Terry
made this
Garden
movie.
say it. Robert
No.
Downey Jr. There was that one like brief fight in the school. What was that over? Like when they pulled.
Oh, it's because the
yes,
milk.
he walked
The
in.
hacky
the
sack.
milk.
They were
Right.
doing the hacky sack.
They were
with
doing the
milk.
hacky sack.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like, it was an accident.
That's when he runs off and revs on his bike and goes, the music's
And
playing
he's
and,
like,
all
wait,
that.
right.
To take it to the limit scene. Take it to the limit.
That's what was missing.
Kids are cynical today. It's hip.
But it's not hip. What's
You
hip?
tell us what's
What's
hip,
hip?
Jay.
Hip's not hip.
Hip's not hip. It's not the 1960s, Mom. She should know that hip's not hip in 1984. Hip was never hip again after like 1967. Yeah, hip.
I'm out.
That's all I got.
Want to get to some scores?
Sure.
Well,
You got Tara's score too?
I do.
All right, sweet.
I don't have Michelle's score, but I have Logan's score.
Oh, you know
Okay.
what? I got one other piece of trivia. It's
Okay,
really,
yeah,
really
let's hear
important. What did Brian want from Alan, his dad, when he came back from London? What did he want him to bring him?
Oh, shit.
I don't remember.
I remember
Damn
him
it.
asking.
I do remember him asking. What the hell did he ask for?
He wanted something.
I don't remember either.
That's a good question.
Does it begin with a P?
No.
Was
Damn
it a physical thing or
It
was
was
it a
like
person?
Yeah.
He didn't want like the Queen or something like that.
Oh my God.
Big Ben Parliament.
You give
No.
up?
It's right here.
Yeah,
I give
yeah,
up.
He wanted a saber.
That's
Yes. Yes. Damn it. All right. Who's going first? All
I'll go first.
right.
I liked it. It was fine. I think I would have really liked it had there been some kind of more violence in it. I hate to say more violent, but
Yeah.
if those guys, his friend, had come back and they wanted those drugs, they already paid for them or something, and there was a more at stake.
yeah.
Yeah.
To it. Maybe at the end, the dad came back and had to
Killed him.
kill him or
you
something
wanted
like
Quentin
that.
Tarantino's
Yeah.
firstborn.
Yeah. But I still like Corey Haim totally made this movie.
Yeah.
All
Saved
his
the
little
movie.
12-year-old
Oh my
Corey
God,
Haim.
he was 12 in that. I thought he was younger. He looked so much younger, but I thought he was really great. I gave it a 65. I liked it. I'd watch it again, not on purpose, but if it were on, I'd be like, "Oh, I remember this." And
Tara's
laugh a
score's gonna
couple
be
times.
higher, isn't it?
God, Tara gave it a 92.
Oh,
Wow.
Tara is high. I can't wait to see what she gives Lost Boys if she likes
Oh,
it.
that's 100. I
So
guarantee that'll be
it's so
100.
funny that you should go with those scores. Michelle fell asleep halfway through it. She can't give a score, but then she did say it was boring. I'm like, well, you didn't see the middle part of it, so you can't tell me it's boring. Logan loved this movie.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm having such a good time watching this, and then he's like, I think I give this movie an 86. He's like, or a 92. Like Tara.
So he's in 86 or 92?
Yeah. And then when he said 86, I was like, I think he should reverse that score for me. So 68. I was like, I don't go off the...
That's my score, 68. And it's on here. I already had it.
Yep.
I don't usually go off the 5s and the 0s, but just because Logan gave it an 86, and I was like, reverse it, I'll give it a 68.
I couldn't decide on the 65 or 70. That's why my reason was for 68. So you got Logan in 86, but...
I'm sure I will never watch this movie again. Like, I've never seen this movie before. I mean, it's not one of those movies that's on TBS or USA or I'll just
How
by
did
accident
you watch
see
this? I've had to pay for it on Apple.
I paid for it as well.
Yeah.
I found it.
You found it somewhere, yeah.
Where'd you find it? Oh,
And it was, believe me, maybe that was part of the reason that I didn't like it as much because the quality of the video was horrible.
Oh, mine was
mine was
good.
perfect.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine
yeah.
was really good.
It was almost looking like a video.
I paid
of
for it as
a
well.
cam
Oh.
copy. The sound, like the vocals were louder than the music at times.
I
was
think
like,
that kind of movie is not going to be good on those kind of sites.
Yeah.
Because it's
I watched it.
probably
It was-
just a VCR copy
Exactly,
or something like
yeah.
that.
It was a really great...
Oh, sorry, no offense,
version
Zach,
of
to
it.
VCR
Yeah.
copies, man.
It was a
No,
great
but
version of it.
it would look better on a VCR than it did.
Probably.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my version was really good.
Like
Mine as well,
when
yeah.
they were running the credits, it was almost like you could see the words kind of like. I'm like, what's happening
So
here?
I give it a 68 as well. I don't have a reason to watch this movie again, but if it was like I'm flipping through the channels and it was on, I would definitely stop.
For like a couple
You know what I
minutes,
mean?
get some of the
I would
funny
enjoy
parts.
it, but it definitely had parts, but it makes me want to see other movies that these people are in.
Well,
so
for sure.
I wanted to see Sleepaway Camp again.
I'm really surprised
I want to do a Corey Haim like this guy, like his whole filmography now.
Yeah.
You know
Like
what I mean?
Christopher
Like,
Collette's one of those guys that now that I've seen him twice, I'm like, how did this guy not have a bigger career? Like,
That's
I
what I
feel
was
like he
thinking.
should be a
was-
much bigger
yeah.
star.
And he
He's
could have been a
good,
teen
yeah.
heartthrob
Yeah.
for sure. He was
Definitely,
very
yeah.
cute.
And as soon as I saw him in this, at first I was like, is this the kid from My Bodyguard? I'm like, nah, I know what that kid looks like. He looks more like...
oh, you're thinking of Chris Makepeace?
Well, I was going to say he looks more like Michael Imperioli, but he's not him either. But then I was like, oh, he's the kid from Sleepaway
Just like
Camp.
the guy from Last Starfighter, Lance Guest. I think he looks like the kid from The Boy Who Could Fly.
Yes.
He's got a similar look
Yeah.
to him.
Zachary. What's your score, bro?
Oh, I'm giving it a 70.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would watch this again. I thought it was awesome, and I love anything that's like filmed in New Jersey or has like Jersey stuff in it.
Did your friend give it a score?
No,
All right.
70.
70's good one, yeah.
We both liked it a lot.
I think Michelle fell asleep on purpose. Just so she always figures out a way to not give a score. Sorry, I was asleep for like 5
Do we
minutes.
have
I'm
a
like,
guest lined up for next week yet, or do we have an open movie yet? We don't know what we're doing yet, right?
I mean, we have people lined up for movies, but
Nothing
no one's
for next week,
confirmed
so
for
it's
next
gonna be
week. So
one
if
of
you
our
want to do
It's your
next
It would
movie,
be
my
your
pick?
week, yeah.
because you had a pick last week, you were going to say, and then we did.
Yeah, I did do. I thought of that one. So you want to do that one then?
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
it?
It was Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were saving that for Halloween.
We got a lot of Halloween.
Did we?
I think. Do you
Okay.
really think that's a Halloween
No,
movie?
I don't, but I feel that's also a movie that we could probably get someone on for that.
Do you want to ask around then?
We'll ask around,
All right.
but we
Okay.
should do it anyway.
Zach, you want to go first?
Wait, which movie?
Ghostbusters we're doing.
You've seen that, right, on video?
Yeah,
Or no, we want you on for Hot Dog, right? We want to
Oh,
do Hot Dog.
definitely.
that's
Hot
one I
Dog,
have
yeah.
not seen. Yeah.
What did you say earlier we should do, right? What Buckaroo Banzai, you want to do that
Oh,
one?
man, I really want to do that,
Let me see
too,
if that's
yeah.
streaming.
Buckaroo Banzai is one of those movies I might have seen in the theater and never seen it again since then, so it's like, I want to refresh myself.
Yeah.
But Ghostbusters, that could be
It's
another movie
streaming.
that, just like Dune, we glommed onto new Dune, we could glom onto Ghostbusters, the new movie that nobody gives a fuck about. But
Is that actually out?
I think it just came out.
Oh.
I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai streaming on Tubi.
It's also streaming on Amazon for free. I found it. So
No,
it should be.
It doesn't say it on Just Watch. But Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Mine says Amazon Prime. It's free. Freevee.
Oh, you gotta watch it on
Pluto,
Freevee.
Tubi.
It's on Freevee. That's what it is.
Through Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do.
Okay.
I don't have that. I don't do Freevee.
No, Freevee is on Amazon. You could. It says you could go on Amazon and watch it.
Yeah, but then you have to download Freevee through Amazon, I believe. And so
it's not like it's just through Amazon.
It's not through
You have to get
Amazon.
free
You have to
Yep.
download Freevee.
Oh.
Let's you choose between those two because I don't think we're going to get a guest that we want to do. Like
I'll
the
do
guys
Ghostbusters then, because that's my movie.
The guys that have wanted to do a movie can't do it. They haven't committed to this.
Unless
week.
you really think Ghostbusters is horror.
No, it's not.
I mean, Halloween doesn't have to be horror. It just has to be.
All right, it's streaming on Hulu and Disney.
Yeah.
So if you have Hulu or Disney,
I
you
do.
can watch
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
I love Ghostbusters.
That's a Disney movie. That's weird. I didn't know they owned the rights to that.
They got
Fox. Right. Right.
So, all right. So this has been the exciting and new podcast. Catch us over there on Spreaker. Download, rate, subscribe. Slam that subscribe button. Whatever those kids say on YouTube now. Exciting new podcast on all our socials. The Jazoo on Instagram. Jazoo74 on X. This has been the exciting new podcast, and I'm Jason.
Gonzo1 on Twitter. Gonzo1970 on Instagram in stereo. I'm Andy.
Dana Caps on TikTok. Dana Caps 77 on Instagram. I'm Dana.
Head, crotch, feet, guys. I'm Zach.
In that order. Don't deviate from that order.
Unless you want to lose one.
Thanks for coming by, Zach.
Sure.